Hola mis amores, this is Masparkle DIYs. Welcome to my channel. Today I am super excited to share with you guys 5 Easter DIYs using Dollar Tree items. I hope you guys like it and enjoy the video, and let's go ahead and start with our first tutorial. I got this carrots from Dollar Tree and this yarn is from Target. Some Dollar Tree have yarn now, but I can't find any, so I found this one at Target on clearance. Added a little bit of glue to the top and wrapped the yarn around the carrot. I got this ribbon at Hobby Lobby. The item number and the measurements look a little bit blurry here, so I'm gonna leave all the information in the description down below. I made a simple bow to glue it to the top of the carrot. Going to repeat the same steps on the other carrots. For the sign, I'm using this one from Dollar Tree, and I started by removing the paper. This will be the back of the sign, so this step is completely optional. I'm giving the front of the sign 2 coats of this paint from Hobby Lobby. This tote bag is from Dollar Tree. I'm cutting the bag and I'm saving the front for a future DIY, the part where it has a quote, and I'm only using for this DIY the back side. Want to create a pocket, so I folded the top, then cut some of the fabric, but not too much, so I can be able to glue the corners to the back. Add glue to the sides, then glue the fabric, and make sure not to glue it too tight so anything you want to put inside the pocket fits. Then I added glue to the back and glue the rest of the fabric. I glued some leaves a little bit inside the pocket with hot glue, and I'm also going to do the same thing with the carrots. Now with my stamp and ink pad, I'm going to stamp the words. Starting from the outside in, I stamped the words bunny treats and use the I letter stamp to make a hyphen symbol between the words. I grabbed one of the wooden bunnies from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to glue a piece of this paper from Hobby Lobby with Mod Podge. Once the Mod Podge is dry, I sanded the corners with my sandpaper, sanding away from the paper, not towards the paper. And this gives you a clean edge. You don't have to do it this way. You can trace your bunny and cut with your scissor. Once that was done, I went ahead and dry brushed some of the cottage white paint that I used to paint the sign with and painted the corners of the bunny with a pink color. I'm using these beads from Dollar Tree, but first I'm gluing the bunny with the hot glue. I cut a piece of a floral wire from Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna start stringing some of the beads. Since there's different sizes, I started with the big one, then small one, then big one, and just kept going. I use all the colors except the purple, but you can do it as long as you want, as colorful as you want, or you can use different beads. I tied the floral wire in the back and added hot glue. Once the glue dried, I put tape on top so it doesn't scratch the wall or door when I hang it. This step is completely optional, but I didn't like how it was looking in the back, so I gave it 1 coat of paint. Also dry brushed some of the same paint on the beads. I made a simple bow using this ribbon I got from Hobby Lobby. It was 40% off, and I glued the bow to the wire that was visible on the top and glue a smaller bow on the top of the first one using the same ribbon that I used for the carrots. For the second DIY, I'm using this decor piece from Dollar Tree and I removed the metal part. Then took off any pieces of paper that were easy to peel, so when I add Mod Podge, the new paper has a better bond. I traced the sign on the same paper we used for the first bunny on the first DIY and cut it. Then added Mod Podge and glued the paper to the front of the sign. Sanded all the edges to get a clean finish. I'm using one of these wooden eggs from Dollar Tree and I painted it with a pink color. I used the same brush for the first DIY, so that's why the pink looks softer. Then to highlight some areas, I used a smaller brush with white paint. These stickers are from Dollar Tree. For the top word, I used the gray color stickers, and for the other word, I used green and gray. Then to blend it a little bit, I used the same brush with white paint. On the bottom, I made an arrow with the Sharpie. Then I glue a bow on the top. For the final steps, I glue one of the little wood blocks from Dollar Tree, then glue the egg on top. The third DIY, I'm using a candlestick from Dollar Tree and one of these bunny baskets, also from Dollar Tree. First, I'm giving the candlestick one coat of paint. Then, with these colors and the same paint and a sponge, I'm dabbing and blending all the colors, and I'll keep doing this until everything looks blended. With this metallic marker, I'm going to highlight all the details of the candlestick. Once that was done, I took a piece of a sponge and dabbed some of the cottage white color so the colors of the basket didn't look too bright. And did the same thing on the candlestick. I removed the ribbon from the basket and glued the candlestick and the basket together with the super glue from Dollar Tree. It glued really fast and I only let it dry for about a minute. I then glued a piece of floral foam inside the basket. This greenery is from Walmart and it was around $2. I already used some of the stems for another DIY and it still looks full. Now these ones are from Dollar Tree and they look very similar, so I'll be adding them to make the arrangement fuller. I cut the stems with the wire cutter, but before inserting them inside the basket, I added some Dollar Tree moss. These eggs are from Hobby Lobby and they were 40% off. With a sponge and the same cottage white paint from before, I'm painting the eggs. I glued a bow to the front of the basket, and when the eggs were dried, I inserted them inside the basket using the same skewers I used to hold them to paint them. For the fourth DIY, I'm using this fabric from Dollar Tree and this wooden bunny also from Dollar Tree. Place the bunny on the fabric, then trace it and cut it with the scissors. With a brush, I apply some Mod Podge to glue the piece of fabric I cut. And added more Mod Podge to the fabric and I let it dry. With a smaller brush, I painted the corners with the same cottage white paint from before. Dry brush some of the paint to distress it a little bit. Next, I added glue to glue some of the same beads from Dollar Tree I used before. Glue a bow to the side and then I glue a smaller one on top. I want to be able to stand the bunny, so I glued this piece from an old frame I already had. This last step is completely optional. I decided to paint the back white. For the 5th DIY, I'm using these 2 old tomato cans that I have, and I'm giving them 2 coats of the cottage white paint. I sanded some areas of the cans with the sandpaper. I also painted in some areas with the same paint color I used on the previous DIYs. Once it dried, I painted on top with just a little bit of the cottage white paint. I cut a piece of this floral wire from Dollar Tree with my wire cutter. I then glued both cans together. The floral wire piece I cut before was too small, so I cut a bigger one, added glue on the corners of the cans, and I glued the floral wire to the cans. I took one of the strings of this piece of rope from Dollar Tree and I wrapped it on the floral wire, adding glue to both ends and gluing them to the inside of the can. These hydrangeas are from Dollar Tree. I cut the stems with the floral wire, then glued 2 flower foams inside the 2 cans, and I'm going to insert the flowers. Add a glue to the top and glue this cute little bow. This fabric is also from Dollar Tree and I'm going to cut one of the bunnies. I'm using Mod Podge to glue the bunny to the can. Add Mod Podge to the top and let it dry. Once it dried, I dry brushed some areas with this mineral paint color. Okay, mis amores, thank you so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of the videos I upload on this channel, and I will see y'all soon. Bye!